Today I'm talking about the most exciting thing that I've been looking forward to for this whole caravan build. Putting in this EcoFlow electrical system. Why am I so excited about this EcoFlow Power Kit system? It's the huge amount of battery power that we have, the huge amount of inverter power that we can run all of our fancy stuff with, and just how simple it looks to put together. The heart of this power kit is actually the power hub that we have right here. Now this has everything in it. It has the solar controller for our solar charging. It has our AC charger for when we plug it in at a campground. It has our inverter in it, so what we can run out into our caravan throughout all the plugs, so we can power our induction, power our aircon, power our dishwasher. It's an amazing system to be contained all in one little box. There are 3 inputs for the solar charger. Each can charge up to 1600 watts, which is way more than we need. We're probably only going to run enough panels on the roof for 1600 watts, but that's 1600 watts times 3. Also on this, the ability to run a DC to DC charger with charging up through the car, but that's only like 1000 watts, so it's not really a huge amount. So for the AC input, this can charge up to 3000 watts, which is a huge amount. But it needs to be a huge amount, because where do we store it all? We store it in this battery, and this is a 5 kilowatt battery, which is freaking huge and pretty heavy actually. But you can stack these, you can stack 3 batteries to have 15 kilowatts. So this is the equivalent of around about 400 and change amp hours on 12 volt, but this is actually a 48 volt system. So it's really just about 100 amp hour battery, but when we step it down to 12 volt, we get the full use of that 400 amps. So the advantage of the 48 volt system is that we can run a much lower gauge wire. But the beauty is that all the cabling that you need to connect everything together comes in the kit itself. It's in these boxes here. And it all comes with easy to connect plugs. Just plug it in and away you go. So when you've plugged it in and you're all ready to go, you need to run it to a distribution hub, which is what we have here. Now this is the smart distribution hub. It distributes both the 12 volt out and the 240 volt out into everything we want to power in the van. And it runs basically all your fuses that you need for 12 volt and all your fuses that you need for 240 volt. And the real beauty of this is that the first 6 fuses on the 12 volt you can turn on and off via the app on your phone. So basically you have the control for anything that you want to plug into those 6 fuses, that you have the control to turn them on and off from wherever you are with your phone. So with that introduction, let's go and get it all installed.
All right, you've got me, Amanda, for the install with my lovely hand model, Luke, and he will show you how easy the EcoFlow Power Kit is to install. We really do think that this is the first in changing the market for DIY power systems for van builds, caravan builds, and off-grid systems. Now, if you've made it this far in the video, can you please consider subscribing to our channel? We would love for you to see the rest of the build of this caravan. So let's dive right in. Now, as you will be able to see in a moment, we've already had all of the 240 volt installed by a licensed electrician. So this part of the install is now relatively easy. It's just connecting up the power kit and the inverter, and we of course used the EcoFlow easy installation template, which perfectly mapped out life size exactly where everything would go. And there it is, the futuristic EcoFlow Power Hub, which is just clicking right into place. Super easy to install, as I said. Now we do need to make sure that this is well vented, as there are fans on the top there, and we will be popping a vent in to this area so it can be well vented. Now Luke's just connecting up the earth, which was pretty easy, albeit a little bit fiddly. The next thing to install was the AC in. Now, as you can see, all of the plugs are actually proprietary fitted, so only one plug can go into one spot anyway. Now, last up is the battery plug, and as before, super easy plugging it straight in. We haven't actually got any solar on the roof yet, so we haven't got any of the solar plugs in their little spots there, which you can see are the first 3 on the left. Next is the AC out that goes through to the distribution hub, and same with the DC out, which is plugged in on the side. And last but not least is the communication cable, which pops in the side. And that is it. The whole system is installed. No crimping of wires or anything, it is all done. Now Luke is lifting up this 40 kilo 5 kilowatt giant battery into place. Now for the keen viewer who's from Australia, now you may realise that we do not have our battery in a sealed box like the new guidelines that have come out. Now whilst the ASNZ 3000 2023 standard is in use in Australia, its regulations, particularly those concerning the storage and locations of the lithium batteries, are not industry standard in New Zealand, and nor is it likely to be. Now this can be confusing if you're not aware of this, so while we see Australian caravans coming into New Zealand with these differences, such as batteries mounted in a stainless steel box underneath the vehicle as required by their regulations, the legal requirements are not the same here as they are in Australia. So now that that last battery connection is complete, let's fire this thing up and see if we've made our caravan come to life. The lights are looking good. And once we turn on the DC, it should come to life. And voila, we've got light. That's amazing. Now this whole install took approximately 30 minutes once everything was in place and ready to go. And look, we've got full 12 volt working. All our 240 volt plugs will now hopefully be fired up, but we'll be able to have a look on the app and see what she can do. The first thing we wanted to do is obviously charge up the battery, and our van is plugged into power now. So as you can see, she is pulling a massive 2.54 kilowatts from the grid and charging up. Now with this massive amount of input, the fans do go, and she is pretty loud. You can reduce the input, and that does obviously reduce the fan speed as well. Our power hub is sitting underneath our couch, so we will just see how it goes, and if it is too loud then we will reduce it.
We've had a couple of days of the system being up and running and ready to go, and you can see that the lights, our 12 volt lights, are working in different places throughout the whole van. And that's just running off the DC side of the EcoFlow system. And after our electrician has been in and fully connected up all of the stuff that he needs to do, there's circuit breakers and all that sort of stuff over there, the AC side of it works. And we can give a little bit of a demo, because it's freezing in here at the moment, of our heater running. And that's running straight off the inverter. We are not plugged in at all, and it is, giving us some pretty good heat. Now what I'm waiting for is for the inverter fans to kick in, because then we'll get an idea of how loud they are, but it seems to be not getting too hot at the moment. So this little space heater pulls about 1200 watts, quite a significant draw on the inverter, but the inverter runs it with no problem. The EcoFlow Power Kit is a super easy thing to install. It was really quick, having all the plugs and leads already terminated for you just to plug straight in. It was just the most straightforward system I've ever done. There's almost no crimping, cutting. heat shrinking. It was just so easy to do compared with the previous EnerDrive system that we have done in the past. Those systems are great, don't get me wrong, but there's just an extra level of complexity when you have to supply all your own cables and wiring, especially at the gauge which high output inverters need. So having this in a 48 volt system with lower gauge wiring and it all provided for you is just so good. If you like this video, give it a big thumbs up. If you want to see a review of this EcoFlow system when we've actually had a chance to go out and use it when the van is finished, then make sure that you subscribe. Also make sure that you subscribe because we have quite a few more videos of this van build to come. Today I'm talking about the most exciting thing I've been looking forward to for this.
You sound exciting.
Oh, okay. Because we have a crap ton of power, a crap ton of...
A crap ton doesn't work, no.
A metric ton.
No.